Look out, here's trouble. Footy's back. That's right. That sound can only mean one thing. This is Footy Unfilterated. And I'm back. Like MJ, I'm going to fax it through to Jez, just like that in a very funny picture of a penis. But I am your host, James Clements, back in Australia. And with me on the other side of this here screen is everyone's favourite Essendon fan. He personally got Brad Scott fired. It is Jez. Jez, what is cracking?
You're welcome, Essendon supporters. I pulled a few strings and, leaned on a few people and, well, what can I say? Now I'm just going to have to double down and make sure that we don't hire James Hird. But I'll get into that later. So, mate,
Unless you're on his actual...
Well, yeah. I'm okay, mate. But how are you? You're looking much travelled.
I'm very jet-lagged. I didn't land this morning at 6 a.m. I feel horrible, and I'm just... Yeah, I'm a bit out of it, so this will be a good show.
But that's just my general feeling, like, all the time. So, see, that's why we're committed to you guys, the listeners. Never forget that. Never forget.
Yeah, the cool part about doing this show is that I haven't watched footy for 2 weeks, so this is going to be awesome.
Yet you'll probably still know more than Damien Barrett.
If Jim went overseas and didn't watch any footy, then... he'd still be smarter than I am. There we go. Right, on today's show, it is going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to go, Jez, what happened? And he's going to tell me. And we'll do some nahs, round 13 picks and previews, etc. We have a really ripper week of footy ahead too. But obviously, there's some big news floating around since we last had a show. So let's get into it. It's footy without the bull. It's Footy Unfilterated. All right, Jez. So, since last time we spoke, you did bring up the idea if the Bomb Rays lost to the Tigers at Dreamtime at the G, would Brad Scott get fired? He did. So, I blame you.
I also am happy to take the blame.
Then, apparently there's only one story in football, though, at the moment, and it's whether or not Essendon should offer their coaching gig to James Hird. Noted failure already as Essendon coach, but he's putting together a superstar-laden coaching tree panel thing to make sure he doesn't fail dismally again, which he probably no doubt will. And I don't know. This is like literally landing today, and so I'm like keeping tabs on all footy stuff while I'm overseas. But the timing of the games over there is obviously horrendous. But like trying to get a hold of the James Hird froth take index, which is trading at an all-time high, it's hard to get a real grasp on who is carrying water for whom. Looking at you, Ralphie, who is carrying water for like other folks, and it's just like, what are we doing? And it all just seems like wildly inevitable that Hird's sheer star power is just kind of like blinding everything else, and there's nothing else going in footy apparently at the moment. So here we are. Jez, as the resident Bombers fan, take us through it.
Well, as you said, there was some delightful news Tuesday morning that Brad Scott would no longer be the coach of Essendon Football Club. And after watching the game on Friday night, I am very happy that they've come to that decision for the reasons I outlaid in the previous episode. I think it was. I think Brad Scott's the door had barely hit him on the backside as he exited the building before James Hird's name was mentioned. And I've obviously my algorithm senses such things, and I've read a lot of different opinions and open letters from nuff football fans to fellow Essendon supporters about why we should get James back and all this sort of stuff. But the one thing that I keep coming back to is he's mostly to blame for where we are right now. So are we going to spend the next 5 years in the same position just to make sure we didn't get it wrong by giving him the flick 11 years ago? He's done nothing to enhance his coaching credentials aside from a couple of, let's be honest, Mickey Mouse assistant roles where he's just there because of his name and to give the football department credibility. Port Melbourne, for example, I think in the VFL last year, they were definitely down the bottom. I haven't kept tabs on them this year, but he's there to give that football club a little bit of credibility because they're a standalone VFL side and nothing more. If there's a lot of, there was a big blue apparently on AFL 360 between our best mate, Jared Waitley, and Gary Lyon, where they apparently got quite heated, which is quite funny. I didn't watch it because I just can't stand Jared Waitley, but it's polarized. It's literally a 50-50.
I love this. It's like it's the perfect meme. The two worst people are fighting each other. You're like, this is great. Have at it,
it's
idiots.
Crazy. But how polarizing it is and how worked up everyone, including the media. And Matthew Lloyd came out today and I think there was a couple of journalists who claimed that he was the one who put James Hurd's name in and all this stuff. And he's come out and denied it and said it's factually incorrect. And, they're all starting to talk about taking legal action for defamation. And it's just an absolute chaos. And James Hurd did nothing to help this by putting his hand up and saying, yeah, I'd love to do it. It's like, yeah, good on you, mate. Do you know what, Jim? I'd love to do it. Guess what I'm not going to be doing next year? Coaching Essendon. I probably should.
You might better pull out a better coaching win percentage than 48% as well across his entire time.
I've got no doubt. I may end up being a playing coach just to live a childhood dream, but if I'm going to get sacked, I'll be doing it my way. But it's honestly, it is just the most ridiculous thing. And what it is going to do, and this is where I hope that Andrew Welsh is a businessman before a Essendon person, and he comes out and says that either, sorry, James, thanks, but no thanks, or he says, James is welcome to apply and go through the process. Now, there's obviously going to be an issue with that because there's certain candidates, I think John Longmire and Ken Hinkley have said that they don't want to be a part of a process until they know whether or not Essendon are going to appoint James Hurd. So, Damien Barrett's already writing articles on the AFL website about how Essendon should just bite the bullet and hire him today. And and even me, obviously everyone who knows me knows I'm a very passionate Essendon person. And it's the only question I get asked. And it's straight up no. I said, are you serious? No. I couldn't be more. There's not enough no's in the world for me to throw it out there.
Well, there we go. We know where you stand. This is what we needed to hear.
No fence sitting. No fence sitting here, Jim. Yeah. We do not sit on the fence at Footy Unfilterated. So.
There was a kid at my primary school who fell onto a fence and split his nutsack open, and I feel like that's what the Bombers are trying to do right now.
I think I might have met that person. I've heard that story before from someone else from Ballarat. So. Yeah, Essendon are definitely, their nutsack has been split apart, sewn back together and split apart over and over again.
And I feel like that's the toughest part about this, right? Like the unwillingness to realize that it was probably a mistake the first time. It was an absolute mess, right? Because this is all the WADA stuff, like just non-stop. But then the mediocrity with the coaching as well, and like with all the decision making that sort of happened while he was in charge, like it's still his fault, right? Like the buck stops with you.
I'll never get past that. We're here because of him and the decisions he made, regardless of whether it may have. Look, to be honest, the way we've been, it could have happened anyway. And another club, for example, let's say Collingwood or Hawthorn or even Geelong, probably could have bounced back a lot quicker. But we've never, since we last won a final, we've been really poorly managed. And that's probably why we're going to pass 8,000 days. So.
What about if he has essentially the guys who are part of the Carlton coaching search? That's like, your Corey Enrights, James Kellys, Gian Syracuse, like all these sort of like former, role player-ish, star-ish kind of guys. If Hurd has like a really decent, or like what does he want? Dyson Heppel as well, like all these sorts of guys on his coaching sort of panel. Will it make a difference in your eyes?
I don't think it will, because I think the type of person and player that he was, and I obviously don't know him personally, but I think his ego wouldn't allow him to be able to let those people do their job to their fullest potential. And then the other thing is if that were to happen, you watch the next couple of clubs that are ready to move on from their coach, they'll be the first ones poached if they do start to. And that's where, if he's going to rely on a team like that, he needs to be able to lock them in long term for it to be worth it. Otherwise, what's the point? Why don't we just make him a football manager and let him oversee the football department? If we're really that desperate to get him back into the football club, The other things I've been hearing is that there's big money tied to the club that don't want him, but then there's an equal amount of big money tied to the club that do want him, and that's where I really hope that Andrew Welsh is a person that we've been waiting for 20 years now to come in and say, well, we can't please everyone. This is what we're doing. And if he decides, you know what, we're going to go down the path of hiring James Hurd, we're going to do this, just stick to the plan. Stop chopping and dropping and doing all that stuff halfway through like we have done every other time. So,
obviously, the really important part of all of this process, and every process when it comes to Essendon, of course, is what does Kevin Sheedy think? And
yeah, and he's 100% on board.
A classic a modern relevant football brain, Kevin Sheedy, who has definitely never put a step wrong since he left Essendon, and certainly didn't suck as a coach for the last bunch of years. Anyway, like the Hurd thing, it's a mess. It will continue to be a mess, and it's going to suck out all the oxygen in the room. Meanwhile, my Blues are on a 3-game winning streak. So there's the real big news this week is that Carlton are back. No. Otherwise, what else is going on, Jez? Like the Dockers will never be beaten again.
The Dockers,
my beloved Swans, lose to the Lions last week, but otherwise the Dockers look unbeatable. The Purple Haze, the Wharfie, what is it? The Wharfie
time.
Wharfie time. This is
awesome.
Wharfie time. It's all going
they on. They're good and they're getting better. They'd been fumbling through and just doing enough to win, and the last few weeks they've just gone, we're actually good. 11 in a row they've won. So they're on track to have a very, very big say in September, as they would vaguely say on the footy shows. I think they're awesome, and they may never lose again, ever.
Because I think we talked through the Sydney FREO ongoing matchups and knew that Sydney in Brisbane was going to be a tough one 2 weeks ago, which they did lose, I want to say.
No, they won that one.
They
lost to the Cats last week.
That's July. What it was last week. Cats, that's right. So I think they do eventually play, and that's the one that's going to really trip me up. But well, you get that on the big jobs.
You do.
What else? What else has been going on? We got some more injuries and stuff.
We've got a few injuries. Yeah, just looking through. We had stupid sexy Flanders in a season that's looking like it could unravel for the Saints. He's done his ACL. We've had a few other injuries. Yeah, the ACL, sorry, Achilles. Yeah, you're right. I had ACL written down for something else, but Nick Newman is having surgery on his finger, so he's expected to play. Justin McInerney, 2 goals, 20 touches himself. He's got an ankle injury but should play. There's a couple of hammies. Lucas Melican is now Lucas Melicant because he can't play due to a hammy. And Isaac Cumming, well, there'll be no more of that because he's done a hammy, and he did that at training yesterday, but he'll probably be out for 3 to 4 weeks from what they're saying. But the one that I'm, and obviously it's an Essendon one, but just for a young kid, my heart goes out to him. But Lewis Hayes from the Bombers, it was his first game back from an ACL in the VFL, and he's done it again. So there's another 12 months on the sidelines, and he showed in the injury-affected year of last year, as opposed to the one of this year, he was one of those young guys who got his debut and did really well, and unfortunately went down with an injury. But and in no surprise to anyone, the mid-season draft, which happened last week, Essendon got the number 1 pick, a young fella from Tasmania, and basically the moment we read his name out, his calf just popped. And he was straight onto the injury list. So he'd been on Essendon's list for 5 minutes, and he did his calf. So, that's how well things are going down at Essendon. So, there was a couple. Not much has gone on the report side of things. We have had a couple of reports for umpire contact that have resulted in fines, but the two ones that I wanted to highlight was last week we had Cam Rayner. He was fined for staging, which is about time, if you ask me. And then Josh Tracy, I think as a result of Cam Rayner's fine, has also been fined for staging this week in their win over the Lions. So good to see that 5 years after making a big stance about staging, the AFL are finally starting to do something about it.
Right on top of it.
Yeah,
Kitty Coleman also hurt his hammy again, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's out for like another 6 weeks or something. So
yeah,
there was also some reports out today that we probably won't get Caleb Sarong back this week. Isaac Rankin as well. It's like a strange week where you sort of hit the middle of the season and you're like, yeah, all right, look, especially with FREO, they're like, we're not going to risk Caleb Sarong. We're like crushing teams.
And that's probably makes that win even scarier, is that they didn't have him and they were actually awesome.
But the actual, like, as I'm trawling through the news stories, though, my favorite one was my beloved adopted son, Jed Walter.
He's coming to the Bombers. Straight swap for Jordan Ridley.
There's buzz. And as soon as Carlton was involved, I don't know if I've been more excited for anything ever. I just went to the United States for a week and a half by myself, sans wife and kids. Went to 2 NBA games, saw No Doubt at the Sphere. And as soon as I saw Jed Walter and Carlton in the same sentence, I was more excited than at any point of that trip. Because my grown adult son, Jed Walter, being on the Blues would make me deliriously happy. So
I'd be happy. Happy to see him in the red and black. I'd be over the moon. That was the other injury that happened last week. Was speaking of Carlton, was Matt Carroll did his knee and he's out for the season, which is really disappointing because he kicked an awesome goal earlier in the game. So it's I hate seeing all these young fellas. Jamie Elliott was another one in Harley Reid's 50th game. He did his ACL and he's going to be out for the season. So it's been a big couple of weeks of ACLs and soft tissue injuries, Jim.
Yeah, the Pendles game was a bit of a weird one, sort of being, disassociated from it, being over there. You're sort of watching all the fallout, and then I just end up missing the game because it's at like 4 a.m.
There was
like LA time.
So many people. Actually, I think everyone who wasn't a Collingwood supporter was barracking as hard as they could for West Coast to win that game. It was so good. The game was actually a really good game. Harley Reid sat old Scotty Penderbilly on his backside at one point when they went head-to-head for a contested ball, and it was quite amusing. Pendles made mention of it after the game. It was a lot of. I mean, obviously, it's a great milestone, and it's it's going to be very hard to beat. But we've also said that about the last 4 or 5 people who have broken the record. So it'll happen again. The way sports medicine and strength and conditioning and all that sort of stuff is heading. There will be somebody who will break the record, and eventually we'll get someone up there with 500. I mean, there's still blokes running around at the age of 80 in country footy. So There'll be another day, but it's a great achievement, and he's playing well and could probably play on for another year or two easily. So, good on him, and that's enough about Collingwood.
Yeah, I did actually hear something about that though. He used to play basketball.
Allegedly, yeah. I hardly mentioned it. I'm surprised it hasn't been mentioned more over 433, now 34 games. So
stunning that it took me that long to hear about that.
And
anyway.
Yeah, so and then the big news that came through middle of last week, and very sad news, was obviously the passing of Neil Danaher. I think he was given initially 8 months or something. He wasn't given a long time when he was first diagnosed with motor neurone disease, and the warrior that he is, he's kicked on for 13 years, Jim. So that's a pretty. It just goes to show the character of the bloke, and just for what it's worth, anyone out there who thinks he doesn't deserve a statue at the MCG, you've got no heart. Like, regardless of his sporting career was again cut down by injuries. He was probably, if you listen to some old heads on the footy pages, they say he was the best of the four Danahers, which is a pretty big achievement because they're a pretty bloody good football family. Unfortunately, he only played 80-odd games due to knee injuries, which these days he probably would have been back and playing at full strength after 12 months. So we were robbed of that, but what he's done, not for football, his football record as a coach and that sort of thing is great. But what he's done for the community and MND, that's enough that anyone who is opposed to it, just go and jump off a bridge or something, you miserable. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Love it. Yeah. Nice. I'm just thinking about the Jed Walter contract and how it's like, $750K a year. That just buys a lot of jet skis.
Well, there's going to be, by the looks of it, it's going to be Jed or Bailey Humphrey, because he still wants out, apparently. So It depends on whether you want to believe John Ralph and Damien Barrett and Tom Morris and all these habitual liars. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Usually known as journalists, but it's all good.
Oh, is that what they call them? Right.
Do you want to go through any of the results from last week? What do you reckon?
There wasn't. The biggest one was obviously the the Blues. That was an absolute cracker of a game. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was lucky enough to get home in time to watch the last 10 minutes. And I'll tell you what, it was what did Carlton leave with Michael Voss, and they've replaced them with another team, because it's like polar opposites. Paddy Cripps, I thought he was done. I thought he was heading down the old rocking chair and on the porch and, in bed by 3 after he's had his soup. But he's found a new lease on life under Josh Fraser. So the Blues, Jim, 3 in a row. Surely you've kept abreast of that overseas.
I absolutely have, because I've heard nothing but, don't come back, Jim. What are you doing? You've gone away. We're on the trot, and I'm like, I don't want to come back at this point. If I just stay here, we might win the flag. But what was the other one? We had Dogs eked by the Pies, wasn't it, in the end?
They got over the line, the Dogs. They also did the same thing the week before to the D's, which was a pretty good game. So the D's have now lost a couple in a row after getting beaten by GWS. That was one of the big stories from the week before. The GWS absolutely smashed the Lions with a 14-goal third quarter. And
that's right, the record-breaking third quarter.
Record-breaking third quarter. And then St Kilda, after whinging and complaining about lack of prime time, turned up on Thursday night against Hawthorn and didn't score a goal in the first half. Yeah, nice. They're not going too well down there.
Let's get your awards from the week then, with some Gablett Areas. all from the highlights. I'd give mine to Patrick Cripps, and I think you have anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, so I've got 3, and I'll go at a 3-2-1. But I even though he probably had a better game, Isaac Heaney, I'm going to give Paddy Cripps 3 votes because the mark and goal that he kicked in the end there was clutch, and I just loved seeing him back. You know, he's a big boy, and the way he attacks a footy, I love the way he goes about it when he's at full flight, and I really enjoyed watching them beat Geelong. So I'm going to give him the 3 there. Isaac Heaney, 32 and 5 goals. Yes, they smashed a depleted Tigers team, but he was awesome. And then Charlie from the same game. Even it doesn't matter who you're playing against. 8 goals is a pretty good effort. So we'll give him that.
Love that. That's really good. Love the Cripps mark. Yeah. Love the goal. Love the explosion of everybody just losing their minds after it. So that's happy. Who are you going to buy a beer this week then, Jez?
Well, I'm going to buy a beer for Dean Solomon because I think he was probably hoping for a dead coach bounce, but I've never seen a caretaker coach seem more frustrated or overwhelmed with the task at hand than I have watching him in his press conferences and every time he's spoken to the media. I've heard people say that he may be a long shot for the coaching thing. I think after 1 week, he's probably happy to walk away at the end of the year. So, and I think he's got a very, very long 12, 13 weeks left of the season. So I'll buy him a beer because I'm pretty sure he's going to need it.
There was the stat floating around that Dean Solomon's last 4 quarters as a senior coach had scored a combined 8 points up until, I think, halftime of that game or something like that. Was it the first quarter? Yeah, quarter time. That's right. It's just hilarious because I think the last game that he took over for, was it like Port or somebody, or was it?
Gold Coast.
It was Gold Coast.
Yeah, after Rodney Eade got the sack. So,
right.
Yeah, he's...
And so they scored nothing for basically like most of a game, and then...
They showed a little bit. They showed a little bit in the third quarter, and look, he to his credit, he tried things. He finally put Ben Mackay up forward, and he's coming into we've actually got more injuries this year than we had last year at this point. So he's got a tough job, and yeah. So I'll be happy to hear. And with the number 1 pick, Essendon select, and that's the positive from this season. Until we stuff it up somehow.
I'll bring back what was the nice? I'll bring him back a Lagunitas IPA for Josh Fraser as well. Just 3 wins on the trot. That's a hell of a dead coach bounce. I still don't want the job, he says. I still don't want the job. So that's smart. Very smart.
Well, when he wins, when he doesn't lose again and they win the flag, he'll get the job.
Probably. Take that, the Teague train. Ben Mackay, Spud of the week. Who you got?
Well, this week it's not Ben Mackay because he actually played well and kicked a couple of goals. So before this week, he had kicked 1 goal in his entire career, and I think he tripled that. So it's not Ben this weekend, but it is St Kilda. The whole team just
whole team?
stunk. Just absolutely stunk it up. I went through the stats. I watched the game. I couldn't actually pick a good player for them. So Silvani, he kicked 3 in the second half. But he wasn't even that good. For the most part, they're overpaid, underperformed, underwhelming. They're not good, Jim. I don't know what else to say. I think St Kilda are going to be a bit of a what should have been or could have been, and Ross might even be the next one on the block the way he's going. So.
Geez, I feel real bad about all of this happening to St Kilda. Real bad.
Do you know, here's a conspiracy theory for you. They'll give him the chop and then they'll hire Josh Fraser.
Ooh. Wouldn't actually be too bad.
Pinching someone else from Carlton.
Exactly. Just keep stealing all of our dudes. Start of the week, I want to give that one for me to our man Chris Scott, who doesn't apparently understand that Geelong is Carlton's bunny team. So I feel like he's like...
And souped it up about the reviews as well.
He reviews, didn't see this one. Dempsey, Dave Roden fell down, had a sook, and then was like, yeah, we don't look at the past. It's like ancient history. It's like, I think we've beaten them 4 of the last 5 times. I feel like that should come up at some point during your match prep, but whatever.
And double down during the week in saying that if you're a local footballer and you touch it, don't say that you didn't. It's like, how's get stuff sound? If I say that it's just gamesmanship, you fool.
Love that.
You do anything you can to get the upper hand.
Yep. Who's your better than Bootsma this week?
Better than Bootsma. So in a otherwise disappointing and down day for the young Tigers, it was a young draftee, Tyler Algier. Did I just say the young Tylers or the young Tigers? Young Tylers, they might be apprentice Tylers for all we know. Tyler Algier, I'm not sure how you say his name, but he kicked 3 goals from 5 kicks, and I believe that the Tigers only kicked 6 for the game. So I think that's a pretty good effort in an otherwise extremely dark day for the Tigers. So that's my better than Bootsma this week, Jim.
Like that. I also saw the Will Lewis goal at the end of the Dogs game, which was awesome. And because what was the Ed Richards mark, and then it sort of all leads in, and yeah, Will Lewis kicked the goal. So I'd love that for him. That's very, very good.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. Also, my beloved
sorry,
Burn, and I think he was good again, which is
there
good.
was another fellow who's had a couple of good games in a row now for the Eagles. Was Milan Murdoch,
Milan
electrician. He kicked a couple of goals and has done jobs on. I think he did a job on Darcy Parish and then Archie Roberts, who still had a lot of footy, but he got under his skin early and got a couple of 50-metre penalties out of him. So he's probably getting close to that mature age recruit of the year, you could almost say, out of the draft. So yeah, he's awesome.
Crushing it in Supercoach as well. So if you traded him out a couple of weeks ago, sucked in. I told you on Jimbo's Supercoach not to. Right, let's do some we're going to do speed round yeah nahs. So I want to throw these to Jez. Speed round yeah nah. Spread out buys, Jez. Yeah nah.
Nah.
It's a bit much, isn't it? Like, I understand.
Why can't we just have 1 week?
Like, we've still got plenty of footy. I think it's okay, but instead of having like this week we've got 4, this week we've got 2, this week we've got 4, it's just either make it just bang, bang, bang in 3 weeks, but this like 4, 5 week, 6 week period is just silly. Obviously, we've already gotten the answer to this one, but James Hird, yeah, nah.
Nah, no way, never, not on my life.
All right. Are West Coast good? Yeah, nah.
Nah, but they're heading there. They're heading in the right direction.
What is it? 2 wins in the last 3? It's not bad.
4 for the year, which is as much as they've won in the last 3 years combined, I think.
Jeez. Are Port Adelaide bad? Yeah, nah.
Yeah. I've been saying it all year. I don't rate them at all, and I'm going to stick with it.
You're absolutely on top of that from the get-go. Are Collingwood good? Yeah, nah.
Nah, I think they're average. I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're good. Define good, Jim.
Well, I mean,
because I think they're good enough to probably make the top 10. What is it now? They could finish anywhere from 6 to 10 based on, they do tend to get in a lot of close games, but I just don't see them doing any damage in September. So if that's what we class as good, then nah.
All right. That's a huge game this week against Melbourne. Speaking of which, are Melbourne bad?
Nah.
Okay.
I also don't know that they're that good, but I think they're better than how they've played the last couple of weeks. But I think, like West Coast, I think they're heading in the right direction.
I think, what are they?
I'm actually going to the game on Monday, and I'm pretty pumped about it. So,
because I believe
it's one of
Melbourne away from Victoria are 0-4. I want to say.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Basically, they haven't won unless they've played on the MCG, I
Yeah.
think, is the
Nice.
stat. And
That's awesome.
so they'll probably win on Monday.
That's crazy. It's still amazing that Essendon beat them this year. But anyway, I'm still
It's all
like,
we've got.
I'm still a little bit nervous about Melbourne. I didn't really rate them that highly going into the season. It's been the surprise pack. It's the Stephen King experience. I think the good thing for them is that they don't really travel that much after, like, for the rest of the year either, I believe. There's an Adelaide
They are
Oval,
starting to
Tassie,
suffer from some
Gold Coast.
injuries. Yeah,
4 more
their
games.
injuries are starting to mount up, so they're struggling a bit with list depth, which is always going to happen when you're a young team that's coming through. Obviously, it's it happened to West Coast the last couple of years. They've had a good run this year with injuries, especially to their senior players. Melbourne are starting to suffer a bit from that, where the young kids that have been so entertaining and good to watch are starting to tire because it is a long season. The weather gets colder, the niggles start to come in. So I think they'll be okay, and I think they'll probably finish around that 7 to 10 mark. Like they'll be a wild card team, I think. So yeah, I'm not too worried about them. I think it's already a win this season for them the way they're going. So
Nice. How about Carlton? Are they any good? Yeah, no.
They're going to win the flag, Jim. They won't lose again this year. Josh Fraser will be able to name his price. And yeah, you'll have him and Cripper up there holding the cup. And yeah, I think how it's obviously had to be Michael Voss. Like, you know how when a coach gets sacked, you can sort of go, oh, well, they're still not. 1 win, yes. 2 wins. Well, okay, they played Port the second time. 3 wins. Come on, fellas. What are you doing? You've beaten basically what we would consider a flag contender, and you look good doing it.
Yep.
Whatever Voss has done, he should never be allowed near a football group again in a coaching capacity.
What is it? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, we've got a fucking problem. This is
he's there's absolutely 100% no doubt that he was the problem there. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Are Brisbane bad? Yeah, nah.
See this one here, and I'm just going to refer to, and the way they've lost has been pretty concerning too. They haven't really fired a shot. They've got a lot of players. One thing, and I'm going to say, with a couple of, they haven't got a massive injury list. A couple of the players, like obviously Oscar Allen's one of them. He's out for a little while, but he wasn't there for their premier. This is the thing, you got to look at their premiership side, and a couple of the players who aren't playing don't actually play at the club anymore. Like you've got Oscar Allen and Kitty Coleman, who are their 2 main injuries. Hipwood didn't even play in the game in the finals or the second half of last season, and Dane Zorko, who's older than Father Time. So if you're relying on those players to get you started, then there's something wrong. And I think that they might have gotten a little bit. You look at the way that Cam Rayner and the Ashcroft and these sort of players strut around as if their shit don't stink, and it's almost like they've forgotten that they have to work hard to win, and they're just trying to rely on which there's no doubt they're clearly talented, but I think there's a bit of arrogance that's gone a bit too far for the Lions at the moment. So, yeah, I think a buy will do them good, and I think Fags will probably get stuck into them and give them a real. I like Chris Fagan. I really like the way he goes about it, and I think he won't let this go for too long. However, it could also be the effects of being up for 3 grand finals in a row, 2 premierships. Sometimes you're worn out by it, by being so good. So maybe they'll drop out this year and refuel and come back next year. So, but I'm going to say for where they should be, yeah, they're bad at the moment.
Yeah, 3 straight losses, Q Clash coming up, 6 and 6. Interesting, precarious position. And
I got one to throw back at you, Jim.
Sure.
Are your beloved Suns good?
See,
yeah, no.
I love their because I think they had the bye this week, I think, didn't they? So
they lost to North.
Yeah.
In below the 27th parallel, but in a really alarming fashion in that they did not score in the last quarter.
Coming off the bye, I do feel like they could, get Brisbane because it's at Carrara. So fingers crossed. I reckon they are good. I don't know if they're world-beatingly good, and there's a little bit of worry sort of seeping in. But look, Rao's back. They lost Ethan Reid for a little bit as well, but they've got Jed Walter, my grown adult son. So it's all very exciting. But this Q clash.
I think they'll be okay. I think they've got to learn how to be consistent. Like they've come from being pretty ordinary for their existence to finally making finals, and then all of a sudden teams are worried about them where they probably haven't been since they came into the comp. So it takes a while to get used to teams actually preparing for you being a good team and not just being a basket case. So, I think they've suffered a bit from that, but they'll work it out. Damien Hardwick's clearly a good coach. He's won 3 flags. So,
Nice. All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's look ahead. Round 13 preview. This is obviously the big freeze weekend. You've got all the crazy stuff going on for King's birthday. We've got the King's Birthday Eve clash between our teams, which
the Footy Unfilterated Cup.
It is the Footy Unfilterated Cup. I usually take the squid to it. We've had mixed results, I think, over the years going. There's been 1 or 2 shockers, but he's always had a good time. So we'll see if he toddles along this week as well. I landed this morning.
I wish him well.
We're talking it all out. I'm like, do you want to go to the footy on the weekend? He's like, no. I'm like, what? Come on, man. Oh. And then I'm like, they've won 3 in a row, but I've not been here to sort of celebrate it with him. So I just got a bit sad. Anyway, we've only got 2 teams on a bye this week. What do we got?
Anyway,
we've got GWS and Richmond missing out this week. The way the Tigers have been playing, that's no great loss. GWS, what are you going to do? We start Thursday with Adelaide hosting the Cats. This is a fun one. Adelaide, this is always, it feels like a great Thursday night football game as well, right? Like Thursday night footy, off we go. I think we've had a few of these great ones. It's the Dangerfield Cup. The Crom, 8.5 point
the Ronnie
underdog.
Burns Cup.
Ronnie Burns, nice. 8.5 points. Underdogs at home. What do you reckon there, Jez?
Oh, I reckon I'm going to take the Crows to cover that because I reckon this will be a close game.
Nice. I feel like you might be right. I think the Cats away, probably hurting from last week's loss to the Juggernaut Blues, and probably eke out a win. At the same time, Adelaide aren't wildly
I think the Crows
convinced.
were one of those teams. The Crows are one of those teams that needed a bye, and they've also got a couple. I think Taylor Walker's back in the team.
Yep.
I don't know. Geelong have got some injuries as well. It's hard to say. I think I can see Geelong winning, but I think Adelaide could keep it close. So yeah, I'm going to stick with them.
Yep. Friday. Hawks Dogs again. Another. This is the Marvel special. This one, but it's at the G. I'm like, I see this matchup, and I'm like, this is a perfect Marvel game, and they're like, no.
That'd actually be a good game.
This should be a cracker. So we've got the Hawks for 20.5 point favourites against the Dogs, having taken care of. Yeah, it is, isn't it? The Saints last week. The Dogs have scraped through a couple of really tight ones. They're getting slightly healthier. Riley Sanders playing awesome. Saunders. Saunders? What am I saying?
Aaron Norton has been actually really good, like just holding that forward line together. So, geez, Jim.
Is that the G, though?
I'm going to take the Dogs to cover.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Dogs to cover just because that line is so big. But I think Hawthorn are just in another. Actually, no, I'm going to go the Hawks. Because I just think that the Dogs and the Ds and the Pies and even North and Gold Coast, they're all in that little similar spot. And I think the Hawks are just a cut above them. You know, they're right up there with the Swans and the Dockers for me.
MCG is the big one for me. I just think the Hawks at the G on a Friday night is going to be a little bit too much for the Dogs. Should be a good one. It's going to be a belter of a game though. North FREO, the unbeatable FREO. This is in Bunbury, I reckon. This one, isn't it? Yes, Hands Oval, Bunbury.
Oh, it could be too.
24.5 point underdogs are your home team, North Melbourne Kangaroos, just out there selling their games to the highest bidder, i.e. Bunbury. I'm going to take FREO and a canter. I've just as good as North is shown to be, a little bit. FREO just like going up the road to Bunbury. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think if you had told me this, when I looked at that, I thought it was at Marvel, but knowing now that it's in Bunbury, it'd be silly not to take FREO. So.
It's a long way to go to play away, bet at home. Whereas like FREO are just like, we
exactly.
live over here. What are we doing? This is crazy. That should still be a good game. And if it was a little bit higher, I'd probably maybe think North can stay in touch. But yeah, because it's not at Marvel. And
I think it'll probably be a 6-goal margin.
FREO are just too good at the moment.
FREO tend to take the foot off the pedal once they've got to a point where they're happy. Like the game against Brisbane on the weekend, they were about 40 odd points up early in the third quarter. They let Brisbane come back. They sort of took the foot off the gas and went into game save mode. And I think if Brisbane were in better form, they might have run over the top of them.
All right, then we have Q Clash. Let's go. Gold Coast minus 10.5 favourites over the Lions at People's First Stadium. I'm going the Suns, though. I think they're just better. I think at home, this is going to be an awesome, massive, big statement game for them. I'm hoping they get over, and I think they're just playing better footy at the moment. I mean, coming off the bye helps. The Lions, 3 losses on the trot. It's going to be hard to see them losing 4, but I think the Suns can do it. So I'm going my beloved Suns. What about you, Jez?
I'm going your beloved Suns as well, because I think they'll be well. I don't rate the Lions at the moment, so I'm going to go with your beloved Suns to win by more than 10.5.
Then we go way out west for the Eagles Port. This is the primetime Saturday night match.
No more. Sorry.
This is a rough one. 7.5 point underdogs of the Eagles. They've been playing pretty well of late. I kind of want to take West Coast, and I think I am going to at home against Port.
I'm taking the Eagles too. I think Port are garbage. It's in Perth, and West Coast are riding high after a couple of wins recently. So, and they beat Essendon, so that's really, really hard to do at the moment. But no, I think the Eagles will get this one done. At least cover. I can't see Port smashing them. So.
Sunday, we have Sydney minus 29.5 against St Kilda. This is the Plugger Bowl. This is a pretty big game for the Saints. Like, they're 12th. And for all the hype about them going into this season, they need to show us something. I don't know if I've taken the Saints much lately. Sydney are flying. They might never lose again. I've still got to go Sydney, even though I'm tempted to sort of think about Ross Lyon sort of dragging this one in the mud. But I think the Saints are playing. I mean, the way that the Saints are playing versus the way the Swans are playing at home, Sydney should probably just fly past them anyway.
Yeah, I can't. After watching that game on Thursday night, I can't take the Saints. They need a bye as well. So, yep, Sydney.
Nice. And then it is the Footy Unfilterated Bowl. The Bombers, 29.5 point underdogs to my beloved Blues. Who are you taking here, Jez? Can you trust your Bomb Rays to cover the 30 points?
I'm going to subscribe to the theory you were in the United States. The Bombers I've put my toes up, but no one wants to see my feet.
This sucks. I want to take the Bombers as well. Like, I desperately want to go the Bombers as well, but I'm going to go Carlton. I can't do it to myself. I got to believe Harry Mackay goes Harry McFive and kicks the bag, and I don't know. We get maybe a little bit of momentum. Hopefully, heading into our bye, that'd be kind of nice. Like continue the momentum because they've got a horrible run home. So this is like the good part of the season for Carlton right now. 3 on the trot, make it 4, bank those wins because I don't think there's going to be too many more coming. So there we go. And then, so here's hoping that like, I don't know, Carlton can cover that and, you know, ride that momentum into the bye and the squid doesn't like go home sad. Monday, the big freeze, the MND game. This is a fascinating setup. Collingwood. Half-point favourites against the Ds. This is 11th versus 6th, and a pretty big game for both. Jez, who do you like in this one?
I like the Ds. I'm going to tip the Ds. So this is basically just to tip who you want to win based off that line. Yeah, I think the Demons will bounce back. I'm just doing a bit of a sneaky here. It's going to be 17 degrees and sunny on an afternoon at the MCG. I'm tipping the Demons for no other reason other than that. But I think this will actually be a really good game, Jim. I reckon they're very well matched teams, and I can see the Demons riding high on the emotion of the day as well. So, yeah, I hope they do. I'd like to see them have a win and honour Neil Danaher because he was obviously as big a part of that club as he was of Essendon or anything else. So, it'd be nice to see the D's win. And I'm going to be there too with 3 Melbourne supporters, so I'd like them to not have their head in their hands after the game. So, however, if it goes the other way, I'll be sitting there giggling and laughing at them. So, either way, I'm a winner on Monday.
Well, in their last 5, the Pies are 1 win, 3 losses, and a draw. So
they're not in great form.
And as we've said, it's the Melbourne Demons at the MCG. So I'm going to go the Ds as well. So we've got one pick different this week, and it's Carlton Essendon. So that's awesome.
It'd be rude if we both pick the same when our teams are playing, I think, Jim. So, yep.
That's the rule. So yeah, you picked up one ahead of me over the last couple of weeks, the last 2 rounds. And even though we had a fair few different, we sort of ended up splitting it both those weeks. So 55 to 53, Jez leads heading into round 13. So final thing, Slevo's Punters Club. Who or what is our favourite look this week? Mine is Carlton Essendon's over on the Sunday night, just because I think both teams just sort of get into a bit of a groove and just it starts pinging around and off we go. There was a dead rubber match between these two last year that wasn't very high scoring, I think, but I think this one will be a little bit different and they probably get just enough done. I just don't trust Carlton's defense really to keep, even as not great as Essendon have been, they're always going to step up for a game like this. So I reckon suddenly, out of nowhere, we hit the over. So I'm going to go Carlton Essendon over. As part of that, Harry Mackay, Harry McFive. It's back. I've missed this one. Harry McFive. Let's go. Harry Mackay boots 5.
There you go.
How about you, Jess?
I am going to go with Isaac Heaney to go back-to-back with 30 disposals and 3 goals against the Saints, because I think the Saints are sitting ducks and Heaney has taken it. He was already having I heard something on the weekend about his year this year is higher rated than his last 2 years, of which 2024 he would have probably won the Brownlow had he not got suspended. And he's already higher rated at this point of the season than he was in both of those years. And I don't think he's been their best player for the whole time. So I think on the weekend, he stepped it up another notch. And I think you'll see Isaac Heaney really click into a high gear now. And I reckon he's going to torch the Saints. So 30 and 3 for Isaac.
Very nice. Very nice. He's been awesome. He's coming to the Supercoach team this week. I tell you that much. Right.
That's it.
But that's it.
Woo!
That's it for... We're heading into round 13. It's the preview episode for Footy Unfilterated. I'm back in the country. I'll be all footy from here on out because NBA winds down. This is just my footy time. I love it. There's nothing better. Because what have we got? NBA finals for the next couple of weeks. Then we'll have draft and free agency, and then nothing. So
we do. However, Jim, we want 7 games, 7 of the best for the NBA finals, and nothing less.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Knicks in 7, I reckon.
That's probably the only bonus of the buys
alert.
Is that we've got a little bit more time up our sleeve to watch the NBA finals. So,
I like that. Well, make sure you follow us across all the socials, everything out there. Go check them out. We'll be back with the power rankings this week as well. I've got a couple of gigs to do this weekend. I've got Descendants down in down in Barwon Heads tomorrow, and then here in the city on Friday. One of my all-time favorite events. But otherwise, make sure you subscribe across all your podcast apps. Jump on the YouTube, say g'day, leave any comments, any nahs, smash them through. So, yeah.
Love it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's just
be rude not to, let's be honest.
Tell us more about James Hird and why he should be the next coach of Essendon if you disagree with Jez.
If you disagree with me, shut up.
It's pretty good. All right. Well, until next week, stay off the rubbish gear. It's good to be back. This is Footy Unfilterated. See yous.
Good to see you, Jimmy.